how to sow your wild oats in your business, for your business, how to keep that feeling of activity and fun and excitement and curiosity and reckless activity, sometimes silly, but fun in your business. How do you keep that alive? Sow your wild oats is actually one of those idioms that is way, way older than I thought it was. It's actually from all the way back in 194 BC. Since then, people have been comparing young people and their silly behavior or their sometimes reckless or fun, wild and crazy activities to oats. Because oats, wild oats, grow, and they've been obviously growing for thousands of years, but they don't really have a use. There's not really a use for wild oats. And so they grow and they expand, but there really isn't anything useful that can be used or created from them. So that's been compared to how young people go out, or how somebody before they get married or makes a big commitment, maybe before you started your business, you sowed your wild oats. Maybe like me, you worked in corporate America and you learned and you grew and you tried things there before you jumped into having your own business. A lot of people before they get married have bachelor or bachelorette parties, and that's a great, probably the most common example of sowing your wild oats. Some folks before they settle down or go for higher education or go for more education or go to learn and settle into a profession will travel or go see the world or just take a year off to work and explore and decide what it is they exactly want to do. And all those things are described as sowing your wild oats. Now, as you can tell, I don't have much experience sowing my wild oats. I was kind of a nerdy engineer kid in college, and being one of the only women in the engineering program back in that day, that's how old I am, I didn't really sow my wild oats. I wasn't really a wild and crazy party animal person. For a few years, I suppose I did a little of that, but compared to most people, not so much. Pretty boring, pretty staid. So, but I have sown my wild oats in ways that I mentioned, like experimenting with my roles in corporate America to decide what worked, what didn't work, to study and learn what worked and what didn't work in those businesses, to reapply that then in my own business. But how do you keep that sense of fun alive in your business? And how do you keep your ideas fresh and growing so that you can remain competitive, so you can create what it is that you want in your business? And I say you do that through certain planned activities, right? How do we keep our processes and our systems and the way we do things fresh and new and always changing and continually improving? Because as our businesses age, we tend to get with our processes, there's a normal tendency to get into routines, to get into ruts. Oh my gosh, to get into ruts in our businesses like we might have done in our lives. Yes, that can happen. So how do you avoid that? Well, by looking at things with fresh eyes, bringing new blood into your organization, hiring new people, hiring people with different perspectives, involving people and doing projects with organizations and groups they're different but complementary to yours. But I always, at least on an annual basis, review everything that we do. I learned this in corporate America. We always did this for the different companies I worked for. We would at least annually, but every time there was a change, an environmental change, a competitor change, a change in personnel, we would revisit the way we did things, meaning we would revisit the processes, the procedures, and the systems. And it was a great time when somebody new came on board because you had to train them. So when you're training them, they're a fresh set of eyes on the way you do things. And hopefully you hire people that are curious and they ask questions and they want to know, and they have a sense of initiative and they want to know, so they ask questions and they challenge, and not challenge in a bad way, but challenge and ask for understanding why you do things a certain way. And they might have experience or have experiences that can be applied to your business and your processes and your procedures because they've been in a different industry or they've been involved in different organizations. They might even have worked at a competitor's, and the competitor might do certain things a different way that we can learn from. So we always want to have a fresh set of eyes on everything we do. Continuous improvement, obviously my jam. And we also want to remember to celebrate the wins we have in our business. Find ways to celebrate with the people that are a part of your organization. Celebrate with the people that help you get those wins. Because guess what? In our businesses, we seldom, if ever, create the big things that we want on our own. It takes a team of people, it takes a group of people to create big change and to build the businesses most of us want to build. So make sure that you're celebrating and appreciating and acknowledging and grateful for those people so that they'll continue to want to be a part of the organization and want to be a part of the team. Love to know your experience with this idiom. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with the traditional sow your wild oats behavior. You know, even my grandfather, my dad's dad, in his whole life, he only had 2 beers. You know, he grew up in a different time, of course, but a little different than his son and a little different than my sisters and I, I'm sure, but still not very over the top with respect to sowing our wild oats. So I'd love to hear your stories about that. How do you keep that feeling, that sense of curiosity and excitement and growing and moving forward and progressing alive in your business? Share in the comments below. Otherwise, let me know if there's an idiom or an expression you would like to know the foundation of, where it came from and what it means and how you might apply it to your business. Share that in the comments below as well. Let's have an amazing day, and I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it to your business today? Take care.